Hello, my name is Blondie and welcome to Blondiewood. Tonight we are going to a very exciting event. It is the 1st of October and that means we are going to the Haunted Hayride. This year is a little different from previous years because it's a drive-through experience. It will not be a walk-through maze or a ride-on hayride. So we'll see what it's like. I can't wait to fill you guys in on what we see. Happy Halloween. Okay, first things first, I figure I will just cover some administrative stuff first off. I'm sorry that I haven't had a makeup video for you guys this week. I had my stand that holds my paper roll or my background broke, so I'm waiting for a new one to arrive. I'm hoping it will arrive next week. I have a couple of makeup looks in the works. Don't mind this guy, this is just my snake friend. I will show you all my decorations too, hopefully in the next few weeks as we get closer into Halloween. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, I have two Instagram accounts. One is for work, it's called Blondiewood Beauty, and the other one is my personal account, which I just post, you know, fun clothing photos or videos of Kiddo, my dog, or Marcellus, my cat, you know, lots of different things. And the exciting thing about my Instagram right now is that I have two Instagram filters out for Halloween that you can save to your own Instagram and try out. One has like really cute orange sort of glitter, and the other one has little baby ghosts that float around behind you. Sorry, I think there's a garbage truck and leaf blowers. I picked a really good time to film. So last night, we left the house. Date night. Who'd have thunk it? We went to the Haunted Hayride. First off, I just want to say anyone who's trying to hold a safe event during COVID, hats off to you, because I am so sure there are so many restrictions in place with what you're allowed to do, liabilities, especially when there's cars involved and people driving. So I have huge respect for anybody who is trying to be creative during this time, and I know that it is a hard year. It's been tough for people, so I'm really appreciative. We could be sitting at home with nothing to do right now, so shout out to anyone who is throwing a Halloween event. I appreciate you. So let's start. Halloween Haunted Hayride. You drive in, and of course there's those famous stack of pumpkins that we all love to take photos with as you drive in through the fog. And then you have these great scenes that are set up as you drive through with animatronics. There was giant spiders, there was houses that were creepy, there was this great pumpkin looking guy. There was a ship that was being sucked down by all these tentacles. There were a group of witches that were animatronic, eerie in the fog. As we were driving through, I wanted my windows down, and there was a spider living in the side mirror of the car, and so I was like so extra terrified because I was like, I'm looking at these giant spiders on a school bus. Meanwhile, I'm like, there's a spider that's probably gonna crawl into my car right now, or Sean's car. And he kept being like, don't worry, I see the spider, it's not coming inside, it likes living in the mirror. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm from Australia, where they climb into the car when you're driving and you almost have a car accident. Anyway, I didn't get attacked by the spider, we were okay. So, as you drive through and you come through all the houses and the little setups and like the creepy house on the side, you come to what looks like, I guess, like a trailer. And there's a guy in the trailer and he's running like a radio station. And he was great, he was my favorite. Like, so he was the first actor that you see as you're coming in. And I wish there was more of him, actually. Like, that's one thing I just wish there was more of that. Like, more of the actors getting a chance to really, like, talk and interact with you. He was amazing. And as you come into sort of this movie drive-in area, and you park your car, and there's a few characters, like, lurking around, and you're not quite sure if they're, like, security that are working the event or if it's an actual character. So that was kind of great. And the set was beautiful. Like, they had the huge screen and the lighting was amazing. So they start the attraction, and it's these great, like, movie advertisements, kind of like the old movie advertisements that you would see when you would go to the drive-in. So, like, for the candy bar, but they're, like, Halloween inspired. So there was one for a creepy shop where you could buy all this creepy stuff, and then there was another one for the creepy candy bar, and then they would show highlight reels from haunts from previous haunts, which was really fun to watch people getting scared. And then the main event started, and you have your host, and he's the guy that was in the trailer as you come in, and he's fantastic. And he does, like, a few songs, and then you notice that there's, like, a platform, and you've got all these monsters that are dancing, which was cool. And then the monsters start to appear through the fog, and so they start coming up to your car. One got Sean really good. He wasn't expecting her to, like, come right up to his window, and she came from, like, his peripheral, so he didn't know she was there, and I was watching, so I was, like, grinning from ear to ear. My only, like, and it's not even really that big a criticism, we had the same monster girl the whole time. She was, like, carrying ahead, and we saw all these other monsters scaring other cars, and they were kind of moving around, and we were waiting for them to come to our car, and they didn't. So I don't know what happened, or if it was, like, a precaution with COVID that they weren't meant to cross paths because of the distancing, or what it was. But that was a little bit of a bummer for me, because I, like, really wanted to see some of the other monsters. I think, like, at one point we had a werewolf guy, he looked like Teen Wolf. He kind of came up to my window, which was great. But yeah, I don't know if there was, like, a way that they could choreograph it so that they all move in a, like, clockwise way so that you get to see all the monsters, because there was these great monsters, and I have to say they were my favorite. They were these tall, stilt walking pumpkin head guys, and they just brought me joy. I don't know if anyone went to Knott's last year, but Ted Doherty designed this maze that was like an Origins maze for Knott's, and they had these characters called the Catawampus, and they were, like, really tall, and it reminded me of that. Like, that was the joy I felt when I saw these pumpkin guys, but they were so far up front, and they didn't come to where we were, and we were kind of parked in the middle in the VIP area, but we weren't right at the front, so we did miss out on getting them to come up to us, which I really would have loved to have seen them close up. And that's the reality of doing a haunt in COVID. Like, there's restrictions, which, I'm so grateful that I did get to see monsters and I got to be in the atmosphere. And that is one thing I have to say Ted does brilliantly. It's his monsters and the sets. Like, he does these beautiful sets and scenes. And although it was different this year from what we're used to seeing at, like, Hayride and Knott's, you still get that taste of what he can create, and it's so well done. I love it. I will say the monsters that were there, they were, like, really bringing it. They were giving it their all. They were getting so into it. They were, like, hiding down below where your window is of your car so you won't see them, and then they'll jump up at you. And you would just hear, like, sporadically, you'd be watching the movie that's going on, and you can just hear someone in the distance, like, blood-curdling scream from another car, which definitely made me laugh. So in between your host sort of giving you a few songs and a few little chuckles, they were showing clips from some old Crip TV little mini feature movies. So that was a cute idea. It was like you're at the drive-in and there's all the fog. One of my favorite parts, so there's a scene at the end of one of the Crip TV movies where somebody gets decapitated and the blood comes out and the lights that were set up around the screen flashed red at the exact same moment. Like the timing of the lighting design, chef's kiss on that one. The lighting design was fantastic. At first I was like, whoa, this is a lot of lighting and are we going to be able to see the screen? But then it was like, no, this is cool. This is like setting the atmosphere. The other thing that I thought was a nice touch, and I guess you paid extra for those tickets, was they had the actual Hayrides, like the trailers with the seats in them. So if you bought certain tickets, you could sit out in the open air in that little Hayride trailer, so you could get that Hayride experience that we didn't get because we were in my car. So that was my first ever Halloween haunt drive-through experience. I haven't booked in to go to any other ones this year just because it is pricey and hey, she's unemployed. I am, however, going to Taste of Knots on Sunday, which I'll try and take some footage for you guys. I'm really excited about that. I love the idea of just being around the atmosphere of Knots and experiencing all the fall pumpkin flavored food. Can't wait. If you're from other cities and you've gone to any haunts during COVID, I would love to hear all about them. Please jump in my comments, let me know. What are you doing for Halloween? What have you got planned coming up? Like, are you going to pumpkin patches? I think Sean and I are thinking about going to like a proper cider mill and buying cider so that we can make like our own sort of Halloween cider situation, which I'm really excited about. If you're new here, please make sure to hit subscribe for all future Halloween content as we creep in closer to the 31st. And I will be doing some makeup looks coming in to Halloween. I'm really excited. I'm planning those, so stay tuned. Thank you everyone for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of each other. I love you guys.